Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Karen. Today we have a lesson called Yingge Ceramics Museum, showing off Taiwan's culture. So speaking of Yingge, have you ever been to Yingge before?
I have been to Yingge, and I think it's some place that makes a very nice day trip for people living in Taipei City because it's not too far and it's really not too hard to get to.
You can actually get there by train, right?
Yes, that's right. You can take the train out to Yingge.
And I know a lot of people go to Yingge because of the Ceramics Museum. I never been there before, but just looking at the pictures of it, I think the building itself looks really, really cool. And there is a huge splash pad where kids can go and play with water on the weekend. I think maybe during weekdays too. It just looks really, really fun.
Sounds like it'd be worth the visit just for that. But yeah, I know that Yingge is right next to Sansha as well, so you can pair those together if you take a trip out there. And in Sansha, they have an old street which has lots of great food.
Oh, that's great. So after you go to Yingge Ceramics Museum, you can go to Sansha and enjoy the great food. And I heard there is a great place for a hot spring in Sansha as well. There's like a really nice spa resort. So don't forget, if you go to Yingge, make sure you also swing by Sansha as well. That would be great.
Well, let's get into the article to learn about the Yingge Ceramics Museum and what you might see if you go to visit there.
Located in New Taipei City, Yingge is a town known across Taiwan for its traditional ceramics industry. Ceramic production in Yingge has a long history that dates back over 200 years. In recent years, the industry has been brought up to date and revitalized. For those interested in this traditional craft, no place tells the story of ceramic production in Yingge better than the Yingge Ceramics Museum. Opened in the year 2000, the museum features a large collection of ceramics from Taiwan and other countries. Its modern design and imaginative displays invite visitors to learn more about the history and techniques of ceramic making.
Hello, today we're looking at an article called Yingge Ceramics Museum, showing off Taiwan's culture.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn about Yingge Ceramics Museum. I have never been there before, but I know I will definitely go. So let's learn about it. Located in New Taipei City, Yingge is a town known across Taiwan for its traditional ceramics industry. Okay, traditional ceramics industry. So it has existed for quite some time already, right? And ceramic production in Yingge has a long history that dates back over 200 years. So it said dates back over 200 years. That means it started maybe over 200 years, right?
In recent years, the industry has been brought up to date and revitalized. So it's been brought up to date, meaning that it is now more modern and that it's been revitalized. So revitalized means that it's been given new life. So maybe it was in the decline and now it's been revitalized. It's healthy and prospering again. For those interested in this traditional craft, no place tells the story of ceramic production in Yingge better than the Yingge Ceramics Museum.
So it sounds really interesting because I love looking at beautiful things. And of course, these ceramics that you see in the museum, I'm sure a lot of them are really, really pretty.
That's right. And we talked about this noun, which is a craft. So a craft is an activity involving skill in making things by hand. So there's a craft of making ceramics, or as we'll see in this example sentence, Tom enjoys the craft of knitting and often spends his weekends making sweaters. So both of these things are crafts because you're using your hands to make something.
That's right. And I work in a kindergarten, so we make a lot of arts and crafts, you know, something that you use maybe paper and tape and glue, and you put things together to make something really cute or something really beautiful. So I really love making crafts as well. Okay, so let's continue. Opened founded in the year 2000. The museum features a large collection of ceramics from Taiwan and other countries. Okay, so it's not only the ceramics from Taiwan, but you also get a lot of ceramics from other countries as well, right? So you learn about different cultures and their types of ceramics.
Its modern design and imaginative displays invite visitors to learn more about the history and techniques of ceramic making. Okay, so you got not only learning about the history about where these things come from, but also about how they're made and the different techniques, meaning different ways in which someone makes these things.
That's right. And we mentioned imaginative display. So imaginative is an adjective. Basically, that's something related to imagination, right? So imagination is like the act or the power of forming a picture in your head and, something that is not present or it has not existed before. Using your imagination to create something, to come up with something that is unique and different and new. So in our example sentence, it says, this imaginative story is about a society that lives at the bottom of the ocean. So it's something that you use your imagination for, right? You want to create this whole story in your head.
That's right. So is it not a story that you can't actually go see this civilization under the water, but you can use your imagination to think of what that might be like.
Exactly. Okay. Well, this place actually sounds quite interesting. You can enjoy ceramics from Taiwan and different countries, and you can go to the splash pad, and then, I think it just sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it sounds like the building's architecture on its own is worth seeing, and it's maybe not as special as what it holds inside of it. So I think both of these features make this museum sound like it's definitely worth a visit.
Definitely. How about let's take a short break and we'll come back and learn more about it.
Good.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课程是要介绍莺歌陶瓷博物馆。我们先补充一下 ，ceramics 这个字呢，它可以当不可数名词来表达制陶艺术。那它也常用这样的复数形来表达陶瓷的制品。好，莺歌是位于新北市，以传统的陶瓷业闻名。这个城镇的陶瓷生产历史悠久，可以追溯至200多年前。那么近年来啊，这个产业经过现代化和注入新的活力。对这项传统工艺有感兴趣的人来说，你可以从莺歌陶瓷博物馆来了解莺歌陶瓷生产的故事。这间博物馆呢，它有现代设计，还有富有想象力的展览，还收藏了大量来自台湾还有其他国家的陶瓷制品。我们看到单字 craft， 它表示工艺手艺。Imaginative 则是形容是富有想象力的。那补充单字 revitalize， 它是动词，表示给什么来注入活力，使什么复兴。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习 date 的相关用法。第一种呢是 date 当动词的时候，它可以指确定什么什么的日期。那以下再介绍它的3种常见用法咯。第一种，你可以用 date back 加上一段时间来表达始于什么什么前，像 date back 200 years 表示追溯到200年前，始于200年前。而第二个用法是 date back to 加上过去特定的时间啊、年代等等，去表达始于什么，追溯至什么什么。像 date back to the Stone Age 是指追溯至石器时代。再来第3种是 date from 加上过去特定时间，是表达始于什么什么。像我们说 date from the 6th century 可以表达追溯至6世纪。好，那这边我们就来造一个例句。The festival dates back to medieval times。这个节气呢，可追溯至中世纪时期。好，再来看到我们用 date 的第二个用法是up to date， 它可以表达最新的、最近的、与时俱进的，常常搭配动词 bring 或是 keep。那现在我们用 bring something up to date， 可以表达使什么与时俱进，使什么现代化，或者是更新什么什么。例如 ，the system needs to be brought up to date， 那个系统需要更新。那这个例句我们是用被动用法来表达，接回到课文中。
The museum's first floor outlines the key steps of ceramic making and introduces traditional techniques. The second floor is divided into 4 sections: ceramics development in Taiwan, the history of ceramics in Yingge, prehistoric and aboriginal ceramics development, and applications of ceramics in modern industrial technology. Overall, the museum is committed to the preservation of ceramics in Taiwan. It promotes the ceramic arts by offering various exhibitions, hands-on activities, and educational programs. Yingge Ceramics Museum is a world-class facility that anyone interested in ceramics, traditional art, or Taiwan's history should visit.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we learned some interesting things about Yingge Ceramics Museum, right? We know that some of the ceramics in the museum are not only from Taiwan, but also from other countries as well. And you can enjoy the modern design and the imaginative displays that really attract the visitors.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a great place to visit already, and I think we're going to learn a bit more about it as we get into our articles. So the museum's first floor outlines the key steps of ceramic making and introduces traditional techniques.
Okay, so basically you get to learn about ceramic making. You don't only go there to look at the beautiful ceramics, right?
Yeah, and we're learning about traditional techniques. So that means techniques or ways to do things that have been used for a long time.
And maybe the techniques have changed over time. We don't know.
The second floor is divided into 4 sections: ceramics development in Taiwan, the history of ceramics in Yingge, prehistoric and aboriginal ceramics development, and applications of ceramics in modern industrial technology.
Wow.
Okay. So they mentioned one section there, which was prehistoric and aboriginal ceramics. So prehistoric meaning before the time when we wrote things down, so before things were recorded, so a very long time ago would be prehistoric. And then they also said aboriginal. Aboriginal are the original people living in a certain place. So in Taiwan, there are many different aboriginal groups located all around the island of Taiwan.
That's right. So on the second floor, you can actually learn so much about ceramics, right? There's so many different, sections and departments where you can learn different things. Wow, I didn't know there's so much to ceramic making. Okay, so we have this vocabulary word here, application, and that is a noun. Basically, it means the act of putting to use. So, for example, detecting illnesses is only one application of this technology. So, there's only one of the uses of this technology. It can detect illnesses, but it can probably do a lot of other things too, right? Okay, so let's continue. Overall, the museum is committed to the preservation of ceramics in Taiwan. So what does it mean when I say it's committed to the preservation of ceramics in Taiwan?
Okay, so it's committed to, meaning that they have a commitment or they have sort of promised to, or they're trying their best to do something. And they're committed to the preservation of ceramics. So preservation is a noun and it means the act of trying to keep something alive, intact, or undamaged, or even changed. So, for example, even though the church is hundreds of years old, it is in an excellent state of preservation. So this very old church has not been changed or damaged. It is still much like when it was originally built.
That's right. Okay, and it promotes the ceramic arts by offering various exhibitions, hands-on activities, and educational programs. Okay, so it offers a lot of different exhibitions. That means different things that, people can go and see on display, right?
Yeah, so it sounds like they must have many different things that you can see inside this museum. Yingge Ceramics Museum is a world-class facility that anyone interested in ceramics, traditional art, or Taiwan's history should visit.
So we have this vocabulary word here, facility, and that is a noun. Facility basically something that is built or installed or established for a particular purpose. So, for example, the worker was rushed to a medical facility to treat her injuries. So, this facility was built for medical purposes, right? Somebody gets injured, somebody gets hurt. You can go to this facility to, get recovered, or some people can treat your wounds.
That's right. So, we have a what do you think question. So, Karen, what interests you most about the Yingge Ceramics Museum?
Well, I think the most interesting thing about the Yingge Ceramics Museum is that it's not just about looking at the ceramics in the museum. I learned that you can learn so much about the ceramics making and the techniques and its history and so many other things that, the development and how it's applied to different industries. So I didn't know that there's so much to learn about ceramics. Before, I thought we could just go to the museum, just look at beautiful things. But no, it's actually very, very educational.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm most interested in learning about the prehistoric and aboriginal ceramics because I think I studied some things similar to that in university. So it's very much related to what I studied when I was studying anthropology and archaeology.
Oh, okay. So actually, you're really interested in it too. So you should probably pay a visit to the Ceramics Museum, right?
I think I should, and I think I will next time I head out to Yingge. So.
And then you can enjoy the splash pad outside.
That's right. So hopefully I'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll see you guys there. And we hope you enjoyed the lesson today. See you guys next time.
Bye.
鶯歌陶瓷博物馆的1楼有介绍陶瓷制作的关键步骤，还有传统技术。那么2楼有分成4个区，有台湾的陶瓷发展啊，鶯歌的陶瓷历史，还有史前跟原住民的陶瓷发展，以及陶瓷的现代工业科技运用。那这边用到 application 来表达应用、运用。好，其实这个名词它还可以指申请啊、申请书，或者是应用程式。所以我们有时候看到这个 app 就是来自这个字。好，再补充单字 aboriginal， 它是形容原住民的。Prehistoric 则是形容史前的，这个字是由字首 pre 表示早于什么的，然后搭配 historic 历史的，组在一起就变成史前的意思。课文最后写到说，这间博物馆致力于保存台湾的陶瓷，那它借由提供各种展览啊、手作活动，还有教育计划来提倡陶瓷艺术，它是世界级的场所哦。任何对于这种陶瓷传统艺术或是对台湾史感兴趣的人都应该要来参观。好，最后来看单字 preservation， 它表示保存、维护。Matt 老师讲解时呢，他用到 intact 这个字 ，intact 是形容完整无缺的、未受损伤的，还有用到 undamaged， 在 damaged 前面加上 un， 变成这个形容词是未损坏的、未毁坏的、没有毁坏的。下一个单字 facility， 它可以指是供特定用途的场所、机构，也可以指设备、设施。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Located in New Taipei City, Yingge is a town known across Taiwan for its traditional ceramics industry. Ceramic production in Yingge has a long history that dates back over 200 years. In recent years, the industry has been brought up to date and revitalized. For those interested in this traditional craft, no place tells the story of ceramic production in Yingge better than the Yingge Ceramics Museum. Opened in the year 2000, the museum features a large collection of ceramics from Taiwan and other countries. Its modern design and imaginative displays invite visitors to learn more about the history and techniques of ceramic making. The museum's first floor outlines the key steps of ceramic making and introduces traditional techniques. The second floor is divided into 4 sections: ceramics development in Taiwan, the history of ceramics in Yingge, prehistoric and aboriginal ceramics development, and applications of ceramics in modern industrial technology. Overall, the museum is committed to the preservation of ceramics in Taiwan. It promotes the ceramic arts by offering various exhibitions, hands-on activities, and educational programs. Yingge Ceramics Museum is a world-class facility that anyone interested in ceramics, traditional art, or Taiwan's history should visit.
Hello, I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shane.
I'm Carolyn.
Today we are playing a game called Undercover. We each have a card with a word on it, and one of us has a different word from the others. We're each going to give hints about our words, and after 2 rounds of hints, we're all going to guess who we think is the spy or the person who is undercover. Okay, so I'm going to start first with my hint. So my word keeps things the same.
You can perform this with food.
If you don't have one of these, you might have a bad date.
You can use salt to do this to food.
This is done to some. This is done at some historic sites.
That's what I was going to say. Archaeologists really care about this.
If you don't have one of these things, you might be really embarrassed.
Focusing on this with animals is really important to some people.
Okay, so that was 2 rounds of hints. So now on the count of 3, we're all going to point who we think is the spy. Everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll first say my word. My word was preservation.
My word was preservation.
My word was reservation.
My word was preservation.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, I think I really knew it was. I thought it was Shane's when he said a thing you can have. So I think you were thinking like a reservation at a restaurant, but you wouldn't have a preservation,
Right,
really.
right.
And I also noticed because he said you would be embarrassed if you didn't have one.
Well, you know, some places might be embarrassed if they don't preserve things.
Oh, okay, true.
Yeah, I just thought that yours both seemed like they could be the same. I thought it was like an Indian reservation.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but then yours were just completely different than mine, so I was pretty sure, it was me. Yeah. I'm the spy. And I didn't even know it.
You didn't? Oh, so you didn't know you were the spy?
I didn't know.
Okay. I think we all did.
We all did.
Yeah, I was like fighting with you both for like sentences because you kept taking mine.
I'm such a good spy, I didn't even know I was a spy.